Bovine tuberculosis. Who are the real culprits? My name is Jennifer Davidson and I am presenting this short discussion as part of my coursework for a university degree. We take a look at the disease and the reasons why it may be so prevalent in the UK and Ireland. If you think this does not affect you in any way, think again and keep viewing. There are many different strains of tuberculosis, with the human one differing from the bovine or cattle one, but the two strains of bovine TB affect many mammal species with cross-infection between farm animals, domestic animals, feral animals, and wild animals. It even still occurs in humans, but since the 1950s, when milk was pasteurised, neutralising the TB from the dairy cows, and greater protection and safety measures for those working in abattoirs where cross-contamination was previously common, numbers of infected humans are very low today. Bovine TB presents similar symptoms in humans as the TB human disease. Bovine TB is an ongoing battle, which has been won in Scotland. New incidences here are so low, with each case isolated and dealt with immediately, that Scotland has enjoyed the status of being officially TB-free since 2009. The disease is still a major problem across the rest of the UK and Ireland, with the northeast of England least affected, but the southwest of England and Wales worst affected. So why should this matter to us? Well, beef and dairy industries are worth billions of euros and pounds in the UK and Ireland, and healthy herds are especially important with the impending Brexit for supply and demand, import and export purposes. It's also a highly contagious disease, affecting hundreds of species. Cross-infection must be prevented. It's still human cases recorded, although they are very low. Wild mammals, especially badgers, are affected. Population culls are being carried out, but without accurate data on exact badger numbers, this could be having a negative effect upon the ecological balance. This has a knock-on effect to other wild species. And less money in your pocket. Farmers receive compensation for destroyed infected animals, mostly funded by government with a small input from the EU. With Brexit looming, this will only increase the financial burden on governments and having a drip-down effect on taxpayers, with less good services for local authority. Depletion of the national herd means less beef and milk, and need to import more beef and milk increases prices. Again, less money in your pocket, which has a knock-on effect on your lifestyle and your family. Both deer and badgers are carriers of bovine TB, known as wildlife reservoirs for the disease. They have free movement across land where cattle and other susceptible mammals are kept. Both of these videos were taken by Stirling Council Ranger Service in a woodland directly next to sheep and cattle pastures. Deer are susceptible to and carry the disease, but the recorded numbers of infected badgers is far higher than the amount of infected deer, and it seems that badgers succumb far more readily to bovine TB than any other species. They are also more prolific in their contact with cattle. In the wild, badgers are notable for their trademark latrines, but it has been noted that badger faeces are also present in cattle feeding troughs, left from the badgers feasting there. This can be a source of cross-contamination. It could also work the other way around, with badgers joining crows and other birds at the feeding parties held at cowpats and dung heaps. These can be rich sources of nutrition, being full of worms and other invertebrates. The culling of badgers creates a great conflict between the farming and the wildlife conservation communities, with no conclusive proof yet as to whether or not this approach is having the desired effect in minimising disease and infection. It is, however, widely agreed that bovine TB is easily transmitted between cattle, particularly through the respiratory tract. Cattle kept in close proximity in byres, at feeding and drinking troughs, huddled haunch to haunch in cattle trucks and in pens at cattle marts, are coughing and sneezing and breathing in bacteria from infected cattle. This has resulted in far greater restrictions on movement between herds. So the badger, this time of night with the sun going down, making his rounds, looking for food, takes absolutely no notice or care about signs that may be warning about cows and calves, about bulls, about what to do, close the gates. They don't mind, they don't use gates, they walk under gates, no problem. There are relatively simple, inexpensive ways that farmers can minimise the spread of this disease by simple, good housekeeping and hygienic herd management methods. There are no easy answers or silver bullets to halt the spread of this disease, but if everybody just applies some common sense, it will still keep costing money and effort, but we can help each other in minimising the spread of bovine TB.